Hi you guys, and welcome back. So today I'm going to do what I think is my third spring garden tour, which is kind of vloggy, but just me walking you around the garden and showing you how everything is doing so far. Of course, I love my garden, so it's an exciting chance for me to share that with anyone who's willing to watch me show my garden, I guess. But anyways, let's see where I should begin. So not much changing on this side. This is kind of my front two beds I keep as herb pollinator beds, and so they're just slowly filling in. I do have some butternut squash growing up this front trellis, but it's not naturally climbing, so you kind of have to, if you choose to do this and are watching this, weave it through yourself. So I've just been taking it and kind of weaving it through so that it'll go up, and you can see that's working out pretty well. Then I have my scarlet runner beans. Something has been nibbling on them. And then calendula, and my lavender is starting to bloom. For whatever reason, I never have had very much success with lavender, but I desperately want it to do good. We have echinacea and borage and some strawberries, which I've been getting tons of strawberries. There's one almost ready right there. More calendula. Bee balm is slowly starting to come up. Little zinnia, looking so cute. Nasturtium, some aloe, and this is really exciting, but I just spotted this morning on my fennel. That is a black swallowtail caterpillar, and I've been spying them all over this fennel, which is one of the reasons that I kept it and have not pulled it out or harvested it. That, and I also wanted to get fennel seeds, which I haven't gotten. So fennel is staying in. This is kale I'm hoping to flower and get seeds from. All the kales are getting a little bit too tough to eat already here. Some oregano hiding down here. Some just regular hyssop, and then hiding over there is some anise hyssop. These are some melons and loofah that I'm thinking about planting around the chicken run. Some potatoes. Something has been eating my potatoes. Some more runner beans up along that trellis. A little dahlia starting to bloom. All my peppers. This one did not handle the haircut well and kind of lost all of its leaves, but it's bouncing back. All the other ones are starting to look bushy and starting to flower again, so they're doing very, very well. Now, my bush beans, you guys, I keep getting so easily distracted by this little longwing that just continues to hang out. But these bush beans are amazing. I'm actually about to pick some and harvest some. And you can harvest. Aren't those flowers so cute too? I just love the little delicate purple flowers. So that's what I just harvested. That's my second little batch, so not getting a whole lot yet. But the thing that I really love about growing both bush and pole beans, or bush and long-growing varieties of just about any sort of vegetable is that usually the bush varieties put off and produce fruit or food first. So that's always really nice when, you know, you can get some beans early ahead of time when your pole beans aren't really producing yet. So onward we go. I have this little zinnia. I'm loving this color. I hope it stays this way. And I also noticed while weed eating that I have some self-seeded zinnias down here. So I've been being very mindful of those, and we'll probably end up moving these somewhere. And I have my cauliflowers, which the cabbage moths have been loving. And then you can see all along the trellis, things are starting to go up. The scarlet runners. Over here on this side, I have my cucumbers. Then I have some long beans down here and another pole bean purple variety. Forget the name of it off the top of my head. So we got some peas. Not doing so super well. It's getting a little too hot already for peas here to be doing well. But I got a few. Go ahead and pick those actually. Never be scared to pick stuff, even if you're picking stuff a little early, because it's just going to encourage the plant to keep flowering. So look at that guy. That definitely got to go. That has grown a lot. Uh-oh, I think I need my scissors for that one. So what I was just saying about the bush beans being producing fruit earlier, this pickle is actually a bush pickle and is more of a, supposedly more of a bush type of cucumber and doesn't get as big and trail as long. So this is my second cucumber I've got of it. It's a little big, but it's delicious. I'm so excited. Oh, cucumbers! So in the rest of this bed, I have this sunflower that's just about to bloom. It's multi-headed. It's so pretty. I'm in love. Then I have some marigolds, a zinnia, some lemon thyme, calendula, Swiss chard, and kale. So I'm still hoping that this kale will eventually bolt so I can collect the seeds and have them for next year, but I am not sure why, considering how hot it is already here, that these aren't going to flower and going to seed. So my plan is that these would bolt and they would become okra beds. My okra seeds are inside getting started. I had initially planned to purchase them from a nursery because I didn't know which varieties I wanted and I wanted to test them, but with all of this COVID-19 stuff, I ended up purchasing just a couple of varieties of okra and started them aside, and they grow pretty quick. So I'm gonna need some space for them soon, so I'll probably keep just a couple of the kale plants, hoping that I can still get seed from them, and then the rest will get taken out. It just gets too tough here for me to keep kale going during this time of year. So then I have this section of tomatoes. Now, something that is not a hornworm has been after my tomatoes, which has been making me very angry. You can see I probably need to take this one out. I think it's got a hole in it, but I can't see how deep that goes. So that's been really frustrating. I also have had something else out here just taking bites of stuff and then leaving it. So I'm not really sure what's doing that. This is I believe a golden jubilee variety. This is a red cherry variety. I got two of these right by each other. It's doing very, very well. I got some, I want to say that's Tulsi basil. bachelor button, a little zinnia. Down here, hiding amongst the tomatoes, this will be a dinner plate dahlia, and I've said this before, but they put off massive heads of flowers. And then this one's just a little small variety. It's so cute. And then we have another zinnia, some basil. Oh my gosh, the smell of basil is just like the smell of summer to me. Some little beef steaks. See, look at this. Look at this at the top of the trellis already. I don't know how I'm gonna proceed. I lost a tomato here because something just took a big chunk out of it and left it, so that was a bummer. Some zinnias. This one I think I'm gonna take out because it has just looked puny, and I'm just gonna let this beefsteak that's doing really well take up more space. So I've let an extra sucker than I normally would develop on this, and I'm gonna take this out. It's just not doing well. This is yellow pear. And then down here, I tried to remove some of the bamboo that was covering up and keeping this from getting sun. It didn't help. It's still a little bit too shady, so it's got a couple flowers. This is an oxheart, pink oxheart, but it's still mostly just getting bushy and not really producing much fruit or tomatoes really. So that brings me to this bed. Have some more zinnias. If you can't tell, I really, really love zinnias because they just really, to me, bring so many butterflies. Really love them. Plus they're super beautiful and great to cut and take inside for floral bouquets. I just love a floral bouquet from the garden to take into the house. I think it's just so beautiful and it brings so much happiness. So I know a lot of people don't really understand the importance of planting annual flowers in the garden, but they really do have their place. They bring so much happiness and joy. Butterflies, a lot of annual plants are also super medicinal and can be like calendula. They self-seed, so they easily come back on their own, and I just will always preach the importance of growing flowers. Bunch of carrots, more tomatoes. This is a Black Beauty variety. It's got a lot. It's gonna have a lot of tomatoes. This one I think is Dr. Weich. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Then we have Paul Robeson. Then we have Costulito Genovese, which I am so excited. They're just these gorgeous fluted red tomatoes that I think are just like, they're an Italian heirloom variety, and I just think they're gorgeous. So I'm very, very excited about those. And then over here, I have Brad's Atomic Grape, and this doubles on the other side. So over here, Brad's Atomic Grape, a wonderful example of something just taking a bite out of my tomatoes and then leaving it there, ruining it. No big deal, not upset or anything. The Costulito Genovese, Paul Robeson, so if you don't know about Paul Robeson variety, they're supposedly like a super amazing tasting variety of tomato, which I have actually never grown, so I'm very excited to taste test that this year as well to see what the hype is all about for the taste of this tomato. And I have some more basil. This is opal, but I've had to pinch it back because I want it to get super bushy, so it's looking kind of puny at the moment. And then just some regular basil. And then I don't know if you've noticed, but back here in the shade, I'm growing a lot of little violas, which I love to put in, like, freeze them in ice cubes and have with other herbs and have just like little floral ice cubes. I think that's just such a fun way to use them. You can also throw them on salads. They are completely edible. Just make sure that they're organically grown. I grew these from seed myself, so I know that they're safe. Hi, friend. So then we move along to this side. We have more zinnias. This is the white variety. It's already bloomed, so I already know what color that is. Then we have, so this one is, I want to say they're blueberries by Wild Boar Farms. So Brad Gates produced these variety. This is a hybrid variety, naturally organic. So I've talked about this in my tomato video, but hybrid varieties are not inherently a bad thing. So they're basically the new generation of heirlooms I feel like Brad has created. So that's really, really amazing. I'm very excited to taste test those. This one is called Napa Chardonnay. They're gonna be a little yellow cherry tomato variety. Then down here I've got some lemon basil, which smells amazing. I love a lemon anything. A bachelor button, more basil. This is a Black Prince tomato, and you can see there's one on the other side already. It has really produced fruit pretty early, which is kind of nice. More onions. This is a green zebra, doesn't have anything. Oh, maybe has one back there. But this will be a green stripy tomato, which is really cool. And this last one down at the end here is a big rainbow, which I don't see anything on it yet either. Then my calendula, you guys look how calendula has, all of my calendula plants have just been getting eaten up by this one moth who keeps laying caterpillars all over pretty much anything, but definitely over the calendula. I mean, it's been laying stuff on tomatoes, on my potatoes, on my beans, on my everything. This moth has just been going to town, which has been pretty frustrating. But calendula usually acts as a deterrent for pests, but in this instance it's been acting very much like a trap crop, which means that the pests are going to it, which is still great. It's keeping it away from my tomatoes for the most part, but I also really love collecting my calendula flowers to make face oils and for natural kind of skin care. So I still really want my calendula to do well. It's still really important for it to do well for me too. So I don't know if it's necessarily been my favorite thing that's acting as a trap crop, but if you don't really care about collecting calendula, definitely plant stuff like calendula. Marigolds is another good pest deterrent. Basil is a really good companion plant for tomatoes as well. So I purposely planted all of these things around. Onions are a great deterrent. So there's a reason all of those are planted right next to my tomatoes. It's because they're either really good companion plants for the tomatoes for pest reasons, flavor reasons. So just be mindful of that when you're planning out your garden. Marigold, looking so cute. Some zinnia and onions all over the place. Like I said, this side of the trellis mirrors the other side in variety, so that's a Napa Chardonnay. But what I'm really coming back here for is my nasturtium bloomed. How cute is that bright orange? So nasturtiums are edible, the flowers and the leaf. It's kind of peppery and spicy, like arugula. The flowers aren't as spicy to me, but the leaves are definitely spicier. So they're an annual as well, but they self-seed really easy. They're really easy to save seeds from too. So I started these indoors and planted them out here. They have bush varieties and they also have vining varieties. So Very, very cool and beautiful annual, also edible. And I also have seen like videos online of hummingbirds love them because it has a great little place for their beak to go in and get nectar from. So great for pollinators. Take a quick stop to say hey to my girlies. Hi girls. So my mom bought me this really cute chicken swing that I can hang from one of these branches, which I think is gonna be so cute. And I'm also thinking about planting some melons and loofah along this part of the fence. It's the same stuff that I made the trellises with in my garden, so I don't see why I shouldn't just utilize it as well. So let's make our way back around. I've got some beets, which I always have a terrible time growing beets. These have been eaten up. I don't know, I can't quite figure out beets here, but if you know the secret, please enlighten me. What is the secret to growing beets? Because I don't know if it's just my climate, but we'll see. Hopefully these will produce something. That would be very exciting. This is a habanada pepper, which is sweet. I don't have any super spicy varieties here. This is a corbachi pepper, a little chewed on. I've given all of these peppers plants, I just cut them back so that they'll bush out more and become a bushier plant. So I did that for all of them and they're just now starting to flower again. This one got mutilated early and I think that's not gonna come back. I have some lettuces in here that I've been slowly taking out, some cucumbers. I honestly don't remember what variety of cucumbers I planted where. I just went crazy and I ran out of markers, so I just went with it. It's another pepper plant. It is a cubanelle plant, so that'll be a nice pepper. I'm not growing any traditional bell peppers in my garden. For some reason, me and my body and peppers just don't really seem to go well. I don't really like peppers too much. I love like pickled jalapenos and banana peppers. So I'm trying these other sweet varieties in the hopes that they and me will go good and I will like them. And fingers crossed, because I want to like peppers. It just hasn't really worked out. Bachelor button, which is about to bloom. That'll be exciting. A sunflower, small. Some more onions. In this space I had potatoes, which I've already harvested, so I'm just saving this space for some eggplants. I had also planned to pick up some eggplants from the nursery as well, because it's not something I've really grown a lot of and didn't know what flavors I wanted, but that didn't work out, as I mentioned earlier. So I bought some seeds of one variety that I could find left after everybody had purchased every seed known to man, it seemed like. So this will be my space for eggplant. I've never really grown eggplant before, I don't believe, so that'll be interesting and fun to see how that goes. My milkweed is finally coming back and not looking like a twig after the last round of monarchs. The zinnia, it seems like all I'm getting this year are like pink varieties and white, which usually I get red and other colors, so maybe I'll start some more inside and see if I can even out some of these colors. A bunch of edible violas and pansies. This one's, I don't know what happened to it. Strawberries, anise hyssop. So this is my ground cherry, and I've talked about this before, but once they get ready, they fall off, and they're kind of like, they just have a husk, kind of like a tomatillo, and you can just eat them. They're very sweet, kind of fruity, still kind of tomatoey, tomatillo-y tasting. But very, very good. I definitely recommend giving these a go. I found another one. Ooh, these are exciting because they just taste so good. definitely plant these ground cherries, or otherwise called Cape gooseberries. If you've never grown these, super fun to grow. If you have kids, I'm sure kids would really, really love them just because they're sweet. A good garden vegetable for your kid to fall in love with. Taking over my chamomile though, which stinks because chamomile is like my #1 herbal ally. It's the first herb that I truly fell in love with. Why I love so many other herbal medicines now is all thanks to chamomile tea. So I really, really need that to do well and spread a ton of seeds. And that's lemon bee balm, some golden sage, which is gorgeous. It's all variegated and beautiful, and some rosemary over there. Y'all, it's hot out here and it's taking longer than I thought. There's a lot more to show as this is progressing, this garden season is progressing. So this is a different variety of oregano, some zucchini, which you can see, hopefully that got pollinated. I didn't come out in here and hand pollinate like I should have. So hopefully some more cucumbers and some melons on that side. Some bolting arugula, which I'll take out. Echinacea, which is coming back. Some more different squashes. White zinnias. I'm just loving mixing these with every floral garden bouquet ever. So pretty. Some squash, and check this out. It's on its way. And there's another one. I don't know if this was pollinated well or not. Really nice. More nasturtium. I just placed these everywhere. And then my Romanesco and purple cauliflower, which these ones I think in front I'm just gonna take out. They're just looking so eaten alive. They're probably stealing nutrients. If you can see that other little, that's a melon over there. That one's probably stealing the nutrients for that, which would probably do well. And that one's not doing well. So I'll probably just take at least that one out. Maybe I'll hold out hope for this one. And these other ones, I've been checking for moths, but I really need to whip up a neem oil spray and spray these because it's just been too much to really keep up with, but that's okay. And these don't seem to be producing anything. This thing has been here forever and it's just nothing. So I don't know, we'll see. And I believe that's it, you guys. I got some, ooh, just kidding, I found one more thing. So over here I have peppermint. That's a milkweed that I started from seed. Lemongrass, and the most exciting is a flowering chive. I've had this plant forever and it has not flowered. So chives are perennial. But how cute. I really have always hoped that this would get big and put off a lot and then I could make a chive vinegar, but sometimes in the garden things just have other plans than what you imagined. I did plan and start a new chive plant this year to put actually in my pollinator and herb bed, so hopefully that'll get really big and eventually flower and I can make a chive vinegar then, but until then I'll just have to wait. Thanks for hanging out with me in the garden today, you guys. It's been super fun. I have been loving the response that I have been getting from doing these videos. It's been super nice to find other people who love gardening just as much as I do, and just supporting me in this. So always make sure that you subscribe if you want to watch more videos. I always really appreciate that. I get so excited when I find a new subscriber. The other day my boyfriend was making fun of me because I was like, oh, I got 50, and he's like, Faith, 50 is really like nothing, but that's 50 people who like gardening and want to watch gardening videos and communicate with me, and I think that's just so amazing. So don't forget to subscribe to never miss a video. It really supports me, and I thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me. If you ever have any questions, just let me know down in the comments and I would love to answer them for you. So until next time. A long wing on my cucumber. Oh, I keep scaring it. Oh. I just love these. This is Florida's official butterfly. You are so gorgeous. I love you. See you later.